Pardon my take. YouTube, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Best podcast in the world. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
On today's Pardon My Take, we have our good friend Max Homa, recurring guest, double Fortnite champion on the show, getting ready for President's Cup. We also have one question with a quarterback that might have played on Monday Night Football. We're going to talk about Monday Night Football. We have Hot Seat, Cool Throne. We have FAQs. We got a great show for everyone. Little college football talk, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Game Time is the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, created by fans for fans. Game Time is a new ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. If you haven't given Game Time a shot yet, what are you waiting for? We've had tons of Barstool fans using it, letting us know about the great deals they are getting. We've been using Game Time all year, and guess what? Thursday Night Football, Browns, Steelers. You got to use Game Time, get you in the building. That's going to be a great game. So it's so easy to use. They have amazing deals. You're going to love it. Download the Game Time app. Go to the account tab to create a login. Redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed with the Game Time app. Again, use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by Game Time, the exclusive ticketing app for Barstool Sports. Use code PMT for your first purchase. Today is Wednesday, September 21st, and I don't want to overreact, PFT, but the Bills and Eagles are playing in the Super Bowl.
I like the Bills. I do kind of like the Eagles, but I don't know how much to put in the Eagles being the Eagles versus Kirk Cousins being Kirk Cousins, because
the Eagles are him.
I was fooled. Don't start with that. I was fooled. I was fooled last night, and I've been fooled by Kirk Cousins for the last time. That was the last time that he's going to fool me for the last time last night.
I was just happy that we saw that Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins defenders were getting a little uppity after week one, and let's just say one of those interceptions was like he had 3 picks. One was not his fault. That was Justin Jefferson. Troy Aikman actually perfectly pointed out, like, that's the biggest no-no right there a wide receiver ever did. And then the last one was the end of the game where he just, threw it up. So
what about the second one?
The second one was bad. 100% his fault. The last one at the end of the game, I'm also going to put that last one on Kirk Cousins because he tried to throw that interception 3 times.
Right.
And then it didn't work out the first 2 times. He said, fuck this. I'm gonna give this ball to Slay because Slay deserves the game ball, and then he found him at the very end of it. But it's so frustrating, right? When Jake, can you please remind us on a weekly basis? Do not believe in Kirk Cousins. Don't believe his lies.
Yeah, because it was the perfect Kirk Cousins game where we said it a million times. When things are going well and the pass protection is there, and Kirk Cousins has his time and things don't get off script, he can look great. And then when the rush is there and he's check down after check down and like panicking, he's Kirk Cousins. Like that, he's Kirk Cousins.
Now
that's all you got to say.
That said, Jalen Hurts is fucking awesome. Jalen Hurts is really good. And I love how every time he plays, they show the video of him squatting like 700 pounds in college.
Yep.
And then you have to go back and you remember the path that Jalen Hurts took to get to the NFL. Jalen Hurts, even though I'm a Washington fan and I've had a rivalry in my own brain with Philadelphia, even though it's not reciprocated, which is the saddest rivalry of all when you have one of those going. I'm conditioned to hate Eagles. I like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is like the most likable dude in the NFL.
He's one of the, just the way he handled the whole Alabama thing shows that he's a great dude and a great teammate. Like there's a lot of guys that would have handled it very differently. And remember, he came in that SEC championship game and like rescued Tua after Tua had done the same for him in the national championship game. I also want to say, people know, but I have a very substantial future on the Eagles Super Bowl. It's already paid off because I got to watch that Monday Night Football game being like, I'm so smart. And the price went down enough now where I could be like, sharp bet. Even if they don't even make the playoffs, I'm gonna be like, sharp bet. That was great.
That's
smart
smart.
by me.
Yeah.
It went from 22-1 to like 14-1.
I'd like to go as far as to personally apologize to Tua or it's not Tua, excuse me, to Jalen Hurts.
That was a little Freudian
It
slip.
was a
Would you
Freudian
like to
slip.
apologize
Tua,
to Tua
Jalen
as
Hurts,
well?
Mac Jones.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything to
studs.
apologize to Tua about. I'm a wait and see guy.
Yeah.
Actually, what changed my mind about Tua was watching the reverse video where he's a righty. That made me realize, yeah, Tua's
That was
good.
awesome. I watched that
Tua's
video. I don't
good.
know if you guys saw it, but there is a video out there that just reversed the whole thing, and Tua looks like a righty, and it's like, oh, this guy's incredible.
Yeah, college quarterbacks left-handed look sweet with the balls with the stripes on them. NFL quarterbacks who are left-handed look like
goofy.
They look like witches.
Yeah, they look.
It
They just
looks
look
like
goofy.
It looks like witchcraft.
Yeah.
So now that I'm able to kind of separate that, I'm able to appreciate Tua. But as far as Jalen Hurts go, I'd like to apologize for a stadium almost killing him last year. And actually, that's probably when I knew that he's a good guy that I want to root for. Like the stadium fell down on him, and then he's helping out all the fans that just fell down, making sure that they're okay. And then signing autographs for him. I'm like, God damn, this guy's nice.
Yeah, and I love this Eagles team. They got guys everywhere.
Yeah.
Dudes everywhere.
I watched the games last night right after, put in a bet, Barstool Sports book, plus 1850, Eagles, Bills, Super Bowl.
Oh,
Anything less is an abject
that
failure
is the most
for both
recency
teams.
bias ever, and I love it, Hank. As a guy who
No, they both look unbelievable.
They
I
do.
don't know how either of these teams don't make the Super Bowl.
wow.
Yeah.
You're this is mean what you're doing now to me and Philly. As a Philadelphia representative this year, that's fucked up what you
I'm
just
supporting.
did. Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Dreams and nightmares.
I feel like
know.
these are the two fan bases you've gone to war against the most.
Yeah, I know
No,
exactly
Bills-
what you're doing.
I will say this about the Bills fans. I kind of said the Bengals were a similar story, but I just, at this point in my career, I've already seen Super Bowls. I've had all my teams win championships. I've been through it all. When we're doing this podcast, watching all these games, I root for the teams with the good fan bases. Like Los Angeles winning last year sucks. Tampa Bay winning hockey sucks. Like I would rather, since we're watching these sports anyway, I would rather the teams with the diehard fan bases that haven't won in a long time win the games. It's better. It's better for everything.
What about
the Bills winning? And I do love Buffalo. We love going there. Great people, great time. They love to party.
Question-
It would be an unbelievable run.
Question for you. The baseball playoffs coming up, teams that haven't won in a long time, not even been in the playoffs a long time, will you be rooting for the Seattle Mariners?
No, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah. Yes, they are.
We'll see. TBD.
They have like the best record in the last 2 months.
I
in
mean, they'll
baseball.
get bounced in the wild card probably.
Maybe outside the Dodgers. Dodgers
They
just
probably
don't
won't even
lose.
sell out their playoff games.
What do you say, Billy?
Super Bowls in Arizona.
Super Bowls
Yep.
in Arizona.
Could they handle that tailgate?
The
Bills
Bills versus
Arizona?
Eagles? No. The world can't handle
I think
that.
Amsterdam is probably the only place that's equipped to handle that.
They need to go to international waters for
They-
the Bills Eagles Super Bowl.
Maybe the distance might prevent too much traveling.
No, definitely
No,
not.
I
For
think-
those two fan bases,
Yeah.
that Bills, like, there will be a study done. If the Bills make the Super Bowl, there'd be a study like 20 years from now, like all these kids in Buffalo not being able to afford college because like their parents took out credit cards in their names to go to the Super Bowl.
Or there will just be like a major increase in people from Buffalo that just stay in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like they'll
they-
just never leave.
They'll
Because
never
they don't have
leave.
the money
They'll
to
just
get
live
back.
there.
They
Yeah.
spent they emptied their bank accounts to get to Arizona.
A one-way
there
ticket.
also might be a lot of people that just there should be an amnesty for people quitting their jobs in Buffalo. It's like, yeah, you can quit your job for these 2 weeks if you want to go to the Super Bowl, enjoy it, and then come back. We'll pretend like it didn't happen. Schools will be closed down for 2 weeks in Buffalo if they make the Super Bowl.
It was crazy watching those two games because they were basically mirror image of themselves, where Josh Allen was out of this world, Stephon Diggs out of this world, 3 touchdowns, like 140 yards or whatever it was, and you had Ryan Tannehill then throwing just terrible picks and looking like Ryan Tannehill, and then you flip over and it's Jalen Hurts having an insane first half and Kirk Cousins being Kirk Cousins. It was a complete whomping by the Eagles and the Bills. I walked away from both being like, I don't think the Vikings and Titans are that bad. I just think the Eagles and Bills are that good.
Yeah,
especially the Bills. The Bills are a total juggernaut.
Yeah, the Bills are awesome. Ryan Tannehill is going back to being Ryan Tannehill. I'm sure that he'll have like a nice little 6-game stretch this season where he makes me kind of reevaluate whether or not he's still Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
But as of right now, he is. And their offense they look a lot less dynamic without having AJ Brown out there.
And I like Burks, but yeah, it's a very different. And watching AJ Brown in this Eagles offense, the Eagles just have like dudes. It felt like no one covered anyone for the Vikings. Like the Vikings, just their game plan was like, let's let the Eagles just run free and hope it works, and it didn't work. Also, I want to. We have defended the city of Minnesota, or the state of Minnesota, the city of Minneapolis, and their sports hell that they've been in. But I have something that I have to push back on. Minnesota, what the fuck are you doing not retiring Randy Moss's number?
Oh, yeah, number 84.
Irv Smith dropping that ball that was a clear touchdown that could have changed the scope of the game and how it was being played. That's on you. The fact that you have someone, a tight end wearing 84, Randy Moss's number, I don't want to say it, Hank, but bad sports town. That's a bad sports town move to not retire one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. Probably if you polled Vikings fans' favorite player of all time, and you have fucking Irv Smith wearing it, dropping balls, wide open touchdowns, that's crazy.
The following numbers have been retired by the Minnesota Vikings. Fran Tarkenton, number 10. Mick Tingelhoff, number 53. Great. He's a great player. Jim Marshall, number 70.
Tingelhoff.
Corey Stringer, okay, get it. Chris Carter, number 80, and then Alan Page, 88.
Wait, John Randall?
No, John Randall retired.
What are you doing, Vikings?
It's sad. Chris Carter ahead of Randy Moss. Like I understand that Chris Carter was.
That makes sense.
He was Mr. Viking, but Randy Moss is the greatest wide receiver of all time.
I still have Jerry Rice, but yeah.
No.
Whatever. We
disagree.
Debate goes forever, yeah. I go back and forth. I actually have said both.
I think, but you have to say like Randy Moss is the most talented.
Right.
Jerry Rice is the best.
Is the best.
Yeah. Then you get into those conversations.
I completely agree with that. But
so
how do you not have it retired?
It is weird. It's very, very strange.
And you have this that is just karma. That guy, Irv Smith, was meant to drop that ball because you fucking have Randy Moss's number running down the sideline on a Monday Night Football game.
I actually just think that a guy named Irv. You never want to throw a pass to a guy named Irv.
Yeah.
Bad vibes.
Yeah.
Slow vibes from Irv.
So I don't know where, again, it is like knee-jerk. I think the Bills' knee-jerk reaction is totally warranted, that they are the best team in the NFL right now. They've looked unstoppable. And this actually goes back to their playoff run because, again, that Chiefs game, like, that was their defense, not Josh Allen in the offense. He played perfect football. So I don't know how you, like, what you hope for weather, I guess? Like, the Bills look completely, and Gabe Davis wasn't even playing.
They've won their last 20 games by double digits. Their last 20 victories. have been double-digit victories, which is just insane. They didn't punt until the third quarter of their second game, and when they did punt, it hit the other guy in the face, and they recovered it.
Yes, and it's the Bills are getting into that territory of it looks like a power. It looks like Oklahoma playing Tulsa every weekend. You know what I mean? Like it's the mismatch just feels so large, and I guess we'll see what happens when Tua, the hottest quarterback in the world, goes and plays the Bills this weekend. But I don't think you can overstate how good the Bills are.
There's no O in Allen's last name. So that on paper, as far as the system goes, that's a system play towards the Buffalo Bills.
Whose line is it anyway? What's that line? Is it in Buffalo?
In Buffalo, I think, right?
Nope, it's at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami.
The line is...
Wait, last year, you remember the Bills went to Florida, bad time.
Bills minus 2.5.
No, I think it's more. It's got to be Bills minus...
Bills
6?
4.
5.5.
5.5. I was close. 6. Yeah,
Hungry
it's gonna
dog?
be. That'll be ended at 6.
I kind of like the Dolphins.
That's a juicy, hungry dog.
Did you see Mike Vrabel after the game? He was walking through the concourse, and there was a fan that yelled at him.
It was before the game.
Oh, it was before the game.
Yeah.
There was a fan that yelled at him, "Hey, Sean McDermott could take you," and Vrabel was like, "No, he couldn't."
Yeah.
So as far as like that soundbite from McDermott goes, he was joking around, but I think that even joking around, he can get under Vrabel. Vrabel doesn't like to hear that from anybody.
Yeah.
That anybody thinks that they could take him. But now I want to see the fight.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Vrabel because it does. I mean, the Titans are clearly like trading AJ Brown and drafting Malik Willis. Like, hey, we're gonna slowly transition here. This might be something that's not sustainable because we keep going to the playoffs and Ryan Tannehill happens. So it's gonna be a tough year for the Titans. Like, I don't really. It doesn't feel. That was a game that the Titans a couple of years ago go in and win as like 10-point underdogs because they always would rise to those occasions, and they were never in that game. Like that was an absolute beatdown.
I did like getting to see Malik Willis at the end of the game, though.
Yeah, and Case Keenum. The Bills are doing an entire quarter of backups. Mm-hmm. That's so ridiculous in the NFL.
Is Derrick Henry like found out?
Well, I think he's just getting older.
Have they solved him?
I think he's
getting solved him.
I think two things: he's getting older, and there's no AJ Brown to stretch the field, and maybe three things. They're off. I mean, our boy Taylor Lewan, I hope he's okay. Might have been another ACL, which sucks.
Yeah, the league has figured out Derrick Henry,
or that,
and it's just that tackle him. You know what? You got to put 8 guys in the box.
Yeah,
that's how they figured it out.
Yeah, and I mean, Josh Allen's the new no one can tackle him guy. It's like he figures out new ways to jump over people every week. So he did some of the hurdles last year. This week he was doing like one-footed pirouettes. Yeah, like side hurdles.
While like kicking his leg over a guy's head and then landing on his other foot. He's just figuring out different ways to extend plays at the end of it. He did do that thing where at the end of a 4th down play, he just tried to throw the ball.
He mashed all the buttons.
He hit all the buttons at once, and then he fell down as he was throwing the ball, almost got intercepted. That was the low light of the Bills' night last night.
That was it.
They didn't convert 1 4th down and like 2 yards, and besides that, it was a perfect game. Another highlight of the game was Dan Orlovsky potentially farting
and sneezing
in the announcer's box, farting and sneezing at the same time. As they were going through the pregame warm-ups. I want to see the tape because there is tape, right?
Yeah.
Like they do have a camera that's on the announcers. So somebody had to have been watching that feed at some point last night. If you saw Dan Orlovsky just rip a juicy one into his microphone in pregame, please send that to us.
And Dan, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, but the fart-sneeze combo, that doesn't happen to a guy who jerks off regularly.
Yeah.
Because your body's just looking to have something escape from it.
Dan,
and it's like, I need to get something out of a hole. Sneeze fart.
Dan, maybe next time you're in the booth for a Titans game, you ask them to blur out the first 3 letters of that team's name.
Mm-hmm. He's getting all horned up.
Getting randy.
Max, we should actually we talked to Max Homa, so we'll call you back, girl. That was Max Homa's request. You are an Eagles fan. How are you feeling, knowing that Hank just tried to jinx us?
I don't give a fuck about Hank. That was a clear strategy by him, and it won't affect me at all. This has been the best day ever. Obviously, you're
welcome.
It's a week-to-week league, and right now we're winning the Super Bowl.
Agreed.
It's one of those things where I went to sleep at like 2 a.m. and just watched every single highlight of the game and was looking for every piece of analysis. I went on the podcast app this morning and was just listening to random Eagles podcasts.
I love it.
From people I've never heard. It's the best feeling waking up after a game like
yes,
that.
It really is.
I'll give Philadelphia another compliment because it was playing the Vikings. I think it's great when a city can have one single video that encapsulates an entire fan base. And the kid screaming at the lady after the Vikings game, "Go Birds!"
That was the NFC Championship game, yeah.
Go Birds! Go Birds!
Is one of the funniest videos of all time. And it literally, like, that is every Eagles fan in my mind is that guy.
And it's also
so funny.
It's also great in sports when you have the random one team owns another that they don't play that often. And the Eagles just completely own the Vikings. Like, completely own them. You know, like, it's one thing, obviously, like, the Packers own the Bears, but they play twice a year. It just feels like every time the Eagles and Vikings color combo matches, it's like, yeah, the Eagles are going to kill them.
Yeah, the video that you're talking about, the look on that kid's face, he's just a kid that knows with 100% certainty that there will be 0 consequences to anything that he's saying. So he's getting right up in that lady's face. Just he becomes not human for a second. He just like
becomes pure Philadelphia.
It's like when you see people in church speaking in tongues, the power of the Lord talking through them. That's what this guy is doing, but it's just for the vibe of Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's Philadelphia. If Philadelphia was a drug, and then you get like the stepped on version where it's like little baby powder mixed in, where Philly fans like are kind of jerks, but they can be regular humans every now and then. That was just pure like untouched Philadelphia.
It was uncut Philly.
Yeah.
It was what's the word for that? Filtonal? Filtonal.
Yeah.
There we go. Got it.
Yeah.
It was a workshop on that.
One other thing, Big Cat, you guys can relate to this too, but I mistakenly bet on the Vikings money line, and I turned the game on one I don't even think. I think it was one snap from Kirk Cousins. I literally was like, primetime Kirk Cousins. I'm such a fucking idiot.
Right.
Like, it wasn't. It was over the second they had one play.
And it was also the Eagles' first drive where it was like, I think they got maybe a holding penalty and they went to like 1st and 20. Like, that's not a problem.
I can tell the second I watch Kirk Cousins in primetime too. Hank, what you're saying when you tune in and you
was so
see
mad at
him
myself.
and his shoulder pads go up higher than they normally do. So it looks like his head is sunk into his body a little bit more. And he's standing back in the pocket. He panics. He goes off his first read, and then he throws a ball that's maybe like 1 yard in front of the line of scrimmage. That guy gets like 3 yards, and that's what it's going to be for the rest of the night. And that's what Kirk Cousins is going to do. And it's so infuriating. And I've fallen into this trap. Like, it happens. It happens probably twice a season now to me, and I need to go cold turkey away from Kirk Cousins. I think America needs to quit Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and he's I think it's 2-10 in prime time. The 2 wins being against the Bears, which I know Vikings fans, they love to be like, how about Justin Fields? Like, hey, dude, Justin Fields doesn't even like the fan base. So yeah, I agree. Like, we got problems, but
yeah,
at least I'm honest about my problems. Whereas Kirk Cousins fans delude themselves into thinking he's something that he's not.
Yeah. Coach Sirianni, Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Tried to tell you. I mean,
Listen,
he looks like
I'm
the
all
front
in on.
runner right now, right?
I'm Philly Dan this year. I'm happy I made this bet because at least I have a team that can play competent football that I can like turn on the TV and be like, go Birds, and then Justin Fields does that. By the way, that press conference, obviously people were upset because Justin Fields, I think he was like, we care more in this locker room than the fans, and people got like, I'm fine with that. Like, I think the players probably, I'd prefer them to care very, very much and be upset when they lose.
He goes to work every day with guys that are working hard, that are like tackling each other, putting in blood, sweat, and tears and shit. Of course, he's going to be like, yeah, I care about my teammates more than I care about the fans. That's fine. The only thing is you shouldn't say it.
Yeah, well, it was a leading question. The question was, does losing to this team, does it sting more because of this rivalry and how much Bears fans want to win this game? And he's like, we really want to win this game as players.
Yeah.
I'm happy he wants to win the game very badly, but Justin Fields should, like, on the bye week, maybe watch a game with some Bears fans and be like, look, this is like, maybe we can just like play an old game for him and be like, see how painful this is for us.
Yeah.
Like, you walk a mile in our shoes and just try to figure out, like, you go through the physical pain, but we go through the mental torture of having to root for this franchise.
I think it's just a young quarterback saying something that he'll learn that he shouldn't say out loud.
Yeah.
Because I bet if you asked anybody else in the league, or most players in the league, like, do you care more about your teammates or do you care about the fans that you don't know? They'll be like, well, my teammates are my friends.
Right.
Like,
and
I like
go
them.
to war with
I
them.
go to war
Yeah.
with them, and I hang out with them, and they're my life.
But fans do pay the bills.
Fans do pay the bills. So
no league without the fans. Remember.
I think most players would, in a moment of honesty, say, yes, I care more about my teammates, but you just shouldn't say it.
Yeah.
Like, it's unspoken. Fans, we know at the end of the day, we're idiots for spending so much time worrying about you as athletes and like investing our heart, our egos, our sense of self-worth, everything we put into games. It's objectively stupid for us to do this.
Correct.
We know that. We just don't need you to tell it to us.
To point it out.
To remind us, because then we feel like idiots.
Right, and it was also just a perfect story because I escaped Sunday Night Football being like, that wasn't the most embarrassing thing ever, and then Justin Fields' comments, like, hit the internet and everyone was making fun of Bears fans. So, you know who does care? Shout out, we just got to give him a shout out. Our boy Barstool Lenny, he tweeted, he's like, sorry to all my fantasy owners, touchdowns coming soon. That's fucking cool.
Okay, we got to bet on him then.
Yeah.
We got to bet on
touchdowns coming soon.
Leonard Fournette touchdown this week.
Touchdowns coming soon. Okay, we'll do a little college football, then we'll do hot seat, cool throne. This podcast brought to you by our friends at Curve. It's football season, which means you're buying beers, snacks, maybe even a new couch for the most premium watching experience. Whatever you're buying, if you're using a card for any purchase, big or small, you need Curve. Curve combines your entire wallet into a single card and app. With Curve, you upload your cards into the Curve app, and when you use Curve, you can swipe and indicate what card you want to use. It's super easy. You can assign your card for certain purchases with Smart Rules feature. Maybe you want a specific card to cover, anything over $100. Well, a different, more rewarding card to pay for groceries or whatever, weekly things that you're buying. It's easy. Just set and forget. Curve also gives you additional cash back on top of any rewards you're already earning on your other credit card and debit cards. So make sure to go to curve.com/barstool to receive $20 in Curve cash once you've downloaded the app. Open an account and make a first transaction. Sign up at curve.com/barstool to receive $20 in Curve cash. Terms and conditions apply. College football. Georgia is so good.
They're an NFL team. Georgia.
They're the Bills.
Their defense is an NFL defense. It's just 3 years away from being an NFL defense. It's ridiculous.
So good.
That dude, Malachi Starks.
Yep.
I think he could play in the NFL right now as a freshman.
They all could. Unfair. I'm already believing in Stetson Bennett being an NFL quarterback. That's how good they are. Calling all the dogs. And we also had Herm Edwards get fired literally on the field.
So I tweeted that out. I've had a bunch of people reply both ways to me. Some people are saying I'm spreading fake news. I just saw somebody tweet out that he got fired on the field. So I watched the video, and then I was like, oh, shit, yeah, thoughts and prayers to Herm Edwards. It looks like he got fired on the field.
He definitely did.
If he didn't get fired on the field, then I don't know what conversation they had because he walked away. I've never seen a man walk away with a more I just got fired face, and I've never seen another guy walk away with a more I'm really sorry that I just had to fire that guy.
Yeah,
face.
and I'm also relieved that it's over with.
Yeah.
Because it was they probably went and had a long talk after, but it was essentially Herm Edwards walking up to the AD, and I don't know who else was there.
I think the school president.
Be a school president, yeah. So he walks up to him, and I think Herm Edwards was like, that was a tough game. We just lost to Eastern Michigan. And it felt like the AD was like, yeah, real tough. We're going to have to do something different.
Go in a different
like,
direction, yeah.
And so then they walked off. They're like, yeah, that means you're fired.
So the Herm Edwards tenure will be remembered for being like better than expected in year one.
Yeah,
I think that's
fun for a year.
That's kind of like the thing that if you look back on it, you're like, yeah, it was okay for 1 year. And then everything that I've read about Arizona State is just the program is like falling apart behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And those are always weird. Like you never really find out exactly why it was so bad until 6 months down the line, 8 months down the line when they do the full like post-mortem article
right.
about what happened to Arizona State football. But from what I've seen so far, it's like Herm did not care that much about he's too much of a people person. So he didn't care about the recruiting rules. If there was like a recruit around him, he was going to go talk to that person and then, be Herm Edwards because that's what he does.
And he also, we said this when he got hired. He was a coach who's been in media for a very long time. College football coaching it's not easy. You have to like live it and breathe it all the time. So whenever a guy goes from being semi-retired for an extended period of time, like, okay, now you have to go and fly. You have to go win a game, and then the minute you win a game, you have to get on the phone and talk to an 18-year-old or 17-year-old. That's not, like, fun. That's a lot different than doing some hits on ESPN and playing golf all day. Mm-hmm. So I never thought it was going to work. But we did have that first year where it felt like he was doing something.
It did work, for a very brief period of time. So now that opening has entered into the Urban Meyer discussion as well. And if you know what the Sun Devils hand symbol is, I feel like Urban's probably the front runner in that conversation.
But Nebraska Urban rumors are hot. I'm deathly afraid of that happening because Urban Meyer will make Nebraska really, really good and maybe win a national championship because outside of Saban, he's the best college coach alive right now.
Counterpoint, though. How satisfying would it be to watch him fail at Nebraska?
It would.
That would be pretty good.
But you know what he's going to do is he'd do the press conference and be like, I always loved Nebraska. Nebraska's football. Like, we're going to run the ball. And he'll figure out a way to make them great because he's done it literally every stop that he's had. I'm very afraid of this. I would prefer it be like Matt Rule in Nebraska because I know Matt Rule, no matter what, I can still make fun of him for spitting on himself.
So if Urban Meyer goes to Nebraska and he tries to, and he does turn around, we're going to get the Urban Meyer redemption story within record time because when he got fired from the Jaguars, he was unhireable.
Yeah.
And so then it's about 6 months later, 8 months later, and all of a sudden he's the hottest name. It just goes to show you that if you're a big state school, you will throw whatever sense of morality you have out the window.
Yeah.
Let's win some football games.
Urban Meyer at Nebraska, I'm confidently saying they will be in a college football playoff. And I would say if you told me he's staying there for 10 years, I'd say they'd win a national championship. He's that good of a coach. Like, he's proven it. He made Utah really fucking good. Florida, then going to Ohio State. Like, that, all he does is win. The one thing that would be really cool if Nebraska did, and Andy Staples, our friend, pointed this out, and they're the only school that can do it because Nebraska had everyone in Nebraska, the Nebraska fan base, they are, steeped in history, and it's like the Tom Osborne years and winning national titles. It would be so cool if Nebraska just hired Jeff Monken from Army and ran the triple option with like elite athletes. Because I would love to just see the triple option with elite athletes and how much it would fuck everyone up. Because I don't know how you would defend it if you had like 5-star dudes buying in to triple option.
You're obsessed with the triple option.
No, the triple option.
Triple option's fucking best, dude. You can't.
Triple option is so
They don't
fun.
use it for a reason.
No,
What are you talking about?
Army uses it. Army does
Air
pretty well.
Force, Navy.
Ferris State won the D2 championship using it.
Yeah.
Triple option, but Hank, triple option is used because Army, Navy, and Air Force, I think they changed the rule, but for a while they couldn't have offensive linemen over a certain weight, so they needed guys just cut blocking and beating them with scheme. I'm saying if Alabama just started running the triple option with their athletes, they would kill everyone.
What's
and
the
it would be
difference-
so much fun to watch.
There's a small difference between that and the single wing offense, right? The single wing offense is similar to the triple option, except they can snap the ball to any guy at any given time, which is like an evolution. That's what I want to see. I think you could get elite athletes to buy into the single wing because it does have like a little bit more spice to it, and it's not just power football all the time.
I want the Bears to run the triple option. We already have a triple option quarterback throwing 11 times a game. That's perfect. Like we've done the hard part. Don't pass.
What's that look, Billy?
Technically, you could run a triple option out of the single wing.
Oh yeah, see, so it encompasses everything. It's like the triple option on steroids.
Yeah, but Nebraska,
which is Nebraska football.
Right,
actually.
Nebraska's the one school where if you told their fan base we're running the triple option, they'd be like, "Thank God we're back."
Yeah, it'd be
because like that. I mean, you just need like all they got to do is recruit like a really fast 5'9" quarterback, have them throw it 10 times a game, and then just run the ball down everyone's throat.
I still think they're cursed for not recruiting Danny Woodhead.
Yeah.
That was a big mistake.
Yeah.
He was just down the street.
He was right there.
You missed out. Ever since you let him walk to, what was it, North Platte,
Wherever
you missed
he went.
out.
Yeah.
You missed out. Chadron High School.
But college football, we're getting conference play starting up. Wisconsin plays Ohio State this weekend, so please just leave me alone, everyone. That's gonna suck so bad.
Shout out Syracuse.
3-0,
3-0.
and Kansas.
And
Syracuse,
Kansas
and Duke.
Kansas Duke play each other this weekend, I believe.
What a matchup.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
both undefeated.
That's great.
Yeah.
They should have moved that to like late November and just had like a doubleheader.
Crossovers,
Kansas Duke.
Champions Classic.
Yeah, Madison
Yeah.
Square Garden, Kansas Duke in football.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
I think JMU PFT is gonna win.
So
this weekend as well.
The Sun Belt.
JMU is like the best offensive team in the country somehow. Now, we've only played 2 games, but I think we're just behind. We might be just behind Michigan, and that's it.
I think it's an all-time letdown spot for Appalachian State.
I mean, after
Well,
that
they kind of
Hail
had their
Mary,
letdown spot. They almost lost to Troy.
but then they got back up again.
Right, but
So now it's another letdown.
That was the
Winning on a Hail Mary is a high,
but the game day after Texas A&M was the letdown spot.
but they continued on that.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I'm just saying like that was
They're due for a letdown.
okay. Another one.
Appalachian State
They didn't
is-
have a letdown.
They are the most
they've lost a
exciting
game.
team in the country. The way that they play every single week, it's crazy.
They lost to UNC.
No, but they won.
No, I know. But that was the scare of the letdown. Like that was they won on an insane way.
Which
I think that will. But that is a coach. Like coach could be like, you guys lost that game. Get back in there and work. Where if they'd killed Troy, I'd be like, yeah, real letdown spot.
Yeah, but it's coming off having game day there and everything. I do think that it might be a letdown spot. So Appalachian State actually got 77 votes to be in the top 25.
They deserve it.
If JMU beats them by like 10 points in Boone, I feel like JMU might be ranked in their first season.
Who have they played though?
Nobody, absolutely
Okay, so
nobody.
that might-
but
that
but
might be tough.
but if they beat Appalachian State, who has what 77 votes to be in the poll,
Right.
If they smoke them in Boone, it's not out of this world to think that they could be ranked.
Is Appalachian State ranked?
Appalachian State has 77 votes,
But
to
they're
be
not ranked.
so they would be ranked number 28.
Yeah,
in the country.
I think it would be. They'd probably have to win a couple more. I'm just telling you that is how the voters work.
Maybe
You got to win. I mean, the fact that Appalachian State beat Texas A&M,
the fact that we're
at
even
Texas A&M,
that we're even having the conversation about it though is still kind of surreal.
Well, you
to me.
started the conversation. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
smart. That was smart
Yes,
by you.
but
yeah.
we're
the fact that
discussing
we're
it.
even talking about this,
But we're discussing
is
it.
crazy.
We're discussing it.
That's a genius thing. Okay, should we do hot seat, cool throne?
Texas A&M. One more thing about them.
Yeah.
I think I've gone full circle on the yell leaders. I think I kind of like them now.
Oh man.
Because they're so bad.
Yeah.
They keep going reviral, and the videos keep going out. They keep leaking out there, despite Texas A&M's best efforts to delete them. And they're so bad now that I think that they're good.
Well, the fact they're taking it down though makes it like that's the lame part.
It is. Oh
yeah, that's
I mean,
the lamest part.
the
Like if
entire-
you just embrace that that's what you are, a weird cult.
Yeah.
I think that I would land more on your side. But they're like actively trying to DMCA everyone. It's
They're like, yeah,
what are you doing?
If you have to repeatedly tell people that you're not a cult every week, chances are you're probably a cult.
Yeah.
But it's funny how Texas A&M and those videos in particular are serving the purpose of making Notre Dame actually look like youthful and edgy.
Yeah.
Notre Dame is like, yeah, this is a cool program that I'd want to go to.
Marcus Freeman's in trouble.
A little bit.
He might not be a good coach. I'm actually going to say that he's not.
Quick question on the Midnight Yell guys.
Yeah.
Are they reciting chants that they replace the names and mascots every week, or are they making those up new every week? Because some of them are really weird and outdated.
Yeah, it's a good question, Billy. I don't really care to know the answer to it.
I don't want to know the answer. It's like looking too much into Scientology.
Yeah,
I don't want to get into it.
Because I'm sure that once I find out that old Red that works down at the general store that tries to sell people laughing stocks every week, that's one of their jokes that they always use.
Damn.
Every time I get closer to finding out exactly what that's all about, I think I'm getting closer to joining the cult that is Texas A&M.
And it's one of those things that if I'm a big believer that if you take in new information, you lose old information. I don't want more information on Texas A&M to like replace some, sick Stone Cold wrestling match from like the late 90s. I don't want to lose that for Texas A&M.
What I'm also worried about though is I don't like how this is becoming such a like recurring joke at their expense, because I think that there's a chance that they're going to stop doing it.
Yeah.
And then
they'll never stop. They'll never stop.
I think if this keeps going down there, you remember like the gathering of the Juggalos almost got ruined because journalists paid too much attention to it every year.
Stop.
I don't want this to fall into that same. I want Texas A&M to keep doing their weird cult-like behaviors so that I can continue to make fun of them from afar.
Yeah.
I don't want them to change their traditions.
Yes. Keep being weird. Keep being a cult. Okay, Hot Seat Cool Throne, brought to you by Coors Light. Our weeks are filled with deadlines, responsibilities, and just stress in general. Coors Light is the perfect beer for football season and college football. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. The mountains on the cans turn blue. That's when you know it is mountain cold, beautiful Coors Light. So get Coors Light right now, Drizzly or Instacart. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Hank, Hot Seat Cool Throne.
Sorry, just looking at the Water Dogs Championship merch.
Oh, hell yes.
1 second. My hot seat is Yankees fans.
Oh.
Why?
Aaron Judge is going for the record.
Yep. Which
and
record?
if he breaks it on Friday, it will be on Apple TV.
Oh, no.
I love that.
Oh,
I love that for them so much. Way to stay relevant, baseball.
Damn.
The other fun little wrinkle with that is that Foul Ball Guy has made it his mission to try and catch Aaron Judge's 62nd home run and Pujols' 700th.
He'd have to retire. Well, Pujols isn't going to hit 700, but he'd have to retire.
I think he is.
No, he's
100%.
not. They keep throwing fucking meatballs, softball practice. That would be... He would be the GOAT of all GOATs if he did that.
And he already is.
Think
so
about
it's
the
like,
odds of that happening.
It's
Even just
impossible.
one of two.
It's impossible. If he gets one of two, it's still the most, like, calling your shot on that is
Yeah.
the most impressive stunt of all time.
I'm
There's no
rooting for
chance.
him. I'm
There's
rooting
zero
for him.
chance.
Yeah,
And if he does get it, we need to. The Foul Ball Guy, the name is just, it's such a misleading.
He's the
it's a
home run
misleading
king.
title. He's a home run king at that point.
I would say, like, if you just said that as any human being, there's 0% chance. Foul Ball Guy, there's always a chance. That guy does miracles.
My other hot seat is Avatar.
Oh.
This has been pissing me off as football has been on national TV broadcasts, probably millions of dollars to run these commercials. I liked Avatar. I was a huge fan of the first one. I've seen it a bunch of times. The first time I saw the commercial, I was like, oh shit, Avatar 2, let's go.
New one, yeah.
They're just putting Avatar back in theaters.
Yeah.
Like 10 years after it came out.
Yeah.
That's to refresh everyone's memory for the new one.
Because nobody remembers any characters or any of the plot from the original Avatar.
But it's just like the studio
honey
made
dicking
so much money the first time. The studios were just like, fuck it,
Yeah.
run it back.
And guess what? We'll watch it.
I've
I
always
don't think
wondered,
so. I hope not.
Why
No,
don't
they will.
studios do this more often with just like every classic movie?
Yeah.
But it's not. It's been 10 years.
I'd see Goodfellas in a fucking movie theater.
1,000,000%.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
Yes, I
Matt
would.
Are you kidding me?
Matt Damon described how new movies aren't as good because of streaming services. So let's just replay the classics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring them back and let's just pretend it's back in 1996? Was that when like Shawshank Redemption came out same year
Titanic, maybe?
as
Yeah.
Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Date night movies that were sick, run them back so the new generation can get laid.
That's
I
good.
like it.
Good call.
I
Kids
like
are-
it.
Kids don't fuck anymore, Billy.
Not in the movie theaters. Pee Wee Herman ruined that. What's your cool throne?
Yeah, whatever. I guess.
You're
I guess,
yeah,
I
no,
guess
you're
I'm
being
alone
a
on that.
you're being a
You're being
downer.
You're being grumpy.
Yeah.
No, I like Avatar. I got hyped. I'm like, let's go.
Sounds like you
Avatar
don't.
2,
Yeah, if you
and then I was
really-
like, wait a second.
So wait-
this is just Avatar 1. I've seen Avatar as many times as I could want to see it. I have no desire to go see it
In
in
the big
theaters
screen?
again.
I know
I
people
saw it
who
like
watch
3
it every
times on
night.
the big screen.
I don't know why you're upset about that. If you really liked Avatar, you'd either one, want to go see it again in theaters, or two, let other people see it in theaters. I don't understand what's making you angry.
Put out the second Avatar.
Okay, it's not
Okay.
out. Okay,
All right,
I get
all right,
that. You're
all right.
antsy.
This is a little appetizer.
But I've eaten the appetizer like 100 times.
Still, you're not gonna get mozzarella sticks when you go to the fucking
Wait, Hank, name,
Applebee's.
Yeah,
name,
well, judging Hank's taste in
Hank,
appetizers, I don't
name
really
three
trust him on
character
Avatar.
names from
Oh,
Avatar.
that's a good one,
Hey,
Billy.
name three-
I don't know the characters. names.
Ah, stumped.
That's why you need to go
There's
rewatch it.
blue
I
guy,
guess.
there's blue woman, and then there's the colonel.
The general.
Okay, you're cool throne.
My cool throne's Adnan.
Yeah,
yeah, cool
He's
throne.
out,
He's free.
free.
We did it, guys. Hey, congrats to all podcast listeners out there. We're sharing this. Everybody that's ever listened to a podcast had a big part in justice today.
I do feel a little bad for our friend Kirk because he just solved a murder too, and then Serial just hopped in and was like, "Oh, remember the most like insanely popular murder podcast ever? Yeah, that guy's out."
Yeah, Kirk did get a person arrested.
Arrested,
for
yes.
like a serial killer.
Yes,
he put a serial
Yes.
killer behind
and
bars.
now Sarah Koenig just shows up and is like, "Hey, remember my voice? I got Adnan free, and also I still want to fuck him."
Great
she
music
definitely
too.
fell
There
in
wa-
love with him.
there
She
was-
definitely fell in love.
There was some romantic tension there for sure.
Yeah.
So he might go back on trial because they're just letting him out of jail. They're not saying that he's innocent or not guilty yet.
Right.
They're saying there was prosecutorial misconduct,
You nailed it.
which is what got Bill Cosby off.
Yeah.
Not saying that they're equivalent, but there was a guy that had threatened to kill that lady, Jay. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Or no, Jay was the guy.
It's been a while since we listened.
It actually kind of sucks that we don't know the name of the person that was killed, and we spend all our time talking about like potential murderers of her. That's kind of sad. But hey, it was Hay.
I think Heyman
Yeah,
Lee.
it was Hay. So we don't know. There was a guy that threatened to murder her. And,
Sounds like that might be
and
your
that
suspect.
might be the guy. And
Yeah.
and the defense was never told about this potential suspect. And then there was another guy that was also suspected that they weren't told about. So he might go back on trial. Maybe we'll get another season
Yeah.
of Serial.
Yeah. Okay. Good job, Hank.
Great
Good
job,
hot
Hank.
seat, cool throne.
Thanks.
Except for the Avatar shit.
My hot seat is chess.
Ooh.
There's a giant scandal rocking the world of chess right now. In fact, it might be the biggest scandal to ever hit chess in the history of the game, which is like 500 years. This is crazy. Just bear with me on this because I stayed up last night. I watched several YouTube videos about it.
Okay, you're an expert.
I'm an expert on it right now. So Magnus Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen is the GOAT. He is the best chess player of all
My
time.
personal goat.
He's your personal GOAT? You're
Yep.
not a Gary Kasparov guy?
Nope.
Okay, Magnus Carlsen, I actually tend to agree with you on this. I think he is the GOAT. He's the highest rated. He's been the champion for several years right now. He's been the best player for like 10 years. He's gotten so good at chess that he has decided not to defend his title. Instead, he's going for the all-time ranking. Like, he's going for points. He's just like saying, you know what, the championship matches don't matter. I've won so many of them. I'm just going to try to get my rating as high as possible for the rest of my career. So that's Magnus Carlsen. He's from Norway. There's an up-and-comer from the United States. He's like a streamer. He is like a Twitch chess guy.
Okay.
And his name is Hans Niemann. And what happened was Hans Niemann, he's very low rated compared to Magnus. He's not on the GOAT level just yet.
He's trash.
He's up and coming, but he's the new generation. He's a new boy on the block. So they compete in this chess tournament in St. Louis. I don't know why St. Louis has a chess tournament
Home
or
of
why
chess.
anyone goes there. It makes zero sense. But this guy, Hans Niemann, gets matched up in the second round against Magnus Carlsen, the GOAT. He beats the shit out of Magnus Carlsen.
Oh, no.
Just absolutely destroys him. And then after the match is over, Magnus Carlsen tweets out that he's retiring from that tournament. And then he puts a little video attached to it of Jose Mourinho saying, I can't say what I want to say because I'll get in trouble if I say it. Heavily implying that this guy cheated somehow.
Do you know how the accusations of how?
Yeah,
he's
I know
cheated?
Yeah,
this.
so we're going to get there. The plot's going to continue to unravel here. So after that accusation is leveled against Hans Niemann, there are chess detectives out there. You know how like on message boards and shit for like runners, you try to catch cheaters and all that stuff. They start digging into his past, find out he's been banned from chess.com multiple times in the past
Can't have
for
that.
cheating online. But this was a face-to-face matchup.
Yep.
And so they're like, he must have cheated somehow face-to-face. They search Hans Niemann. They give him like a wand and they frisk him. And they're like, the guy's clean. He doesn't have anything on him that could signal what to use. So what a lot of these players have done in the past to cheat is they'll set up electronics to like what's called a chess engine, which evaluates every single possible move that could take place on the chessboard and tells them where to move their piece. And it makes them play like a perfect game if you follow the chess engine. So they don't find anything on him. Then the chess detectives dig in further, and a rumor comes out there that Hans Niemann, the American kid, has been using anal beads in his butthole that vibrate to tell him where to move his pieces. And then Elon Musk actually weighed in on it too and said, yeah, I think that this kid might be using anal beads to cheat. So
It's like the Avengers.
it's kind of like the Avengers.
By the way, if you do that, I think that's fair game.
So
If you put anal beads in your ass to vibrate during a chess game, that should be allowed.
So last night when I dove into it, I thought I was Team Magnus in all this.
Well, he's our GOAT.
But he is our GOAT. But Magnus is throwing all these weird claims out, and he's not backing them. He's offering zero explanation.
Yeah, that's not good.
I think, okay, so this is where I got a little bit too far into the weeds, because I think that Magnus, he's got anal beads, and that he's recognizing that the guy that he's playing against is stealing his trick, which is also using anal beads.
Whoever smelt it dealt it.
And he's confused.
Wait, but is Magnus accusing him anal beads or just
No, he's just
random?
he's just throwing out random like cryptic messages, not outright accusing.
Yeah, he's not. He's being real coy behind the scenes. But Hank, the person that did make the accusation of the anal beads was an anonymous internet commenter at first. Isn't that interesting?
Disgusting.
You know who else has the internet? Magnus Carlsen. He uses the internet. I think Magnus Carlsen is the guy with the anal beads that's accusing our baby goat, our American goat.
Yep.
They don't like Yanks taking over their sport. It's a European, Scandinavian sport. You see a new bad boy coming in. He's a Twitch guy. It's kind of like new blood, a lot of accusations.
Yeah.
And then they finally have another matchup yesterday, and Magnus quits after one move.
Oh,
he retires and he disconnects his entire computer.
This goat thing might not be working out.
He
for us.
might be baby back bitch.
Yeah, he might be bad.
And
Bobby
Fisher
Chess.
would never.
I think Hans Niemann might be our new goat.
Okay, I'm in.
I think we
You
need
swayed me.
squat and cough and make him play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They have to play nude.
To play it
Yeah.
nude, yeah.
Play fully nude.
Or just like make them take a shit before they start.
Yeah.
could
During.
also work.
They have to play on toilets.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah,
and you have to
every,
you have
like,
to,
5 minutes
You have
they
to drop
have
a
to
log
shit.
before
Yeah.
every move.
Yes. They have to take a laxative and play chess on toilets.
So I'm way too into the chess drama right now, and I'm sure I'll be following it as it envelops. But man, 64 square board, a lot of shit goes down on there.
A lot of shit.
And then my cool throw was going to be what Hank did. Cereal.
Okay.
So my hot seat was long enough, so we'll keep it moving.
All right, my hot seat. I have two.
Cool throwing Avatar.
My hot seat is Bryson DeChambeu getting assaulted by a rope. If you missed this clip, I don't know how you missed it, but he walked into a rope that was very visible, then took a knee and was like, I can't see, my eye, You thought that he would have, like, he got shot by a sniper the way he
It was a
reacted.
laser beam.
It
It was
was
one of those
so
laser
funny.
beam ropes.
It was insane how he reacted. It was so perfect. It feels like it's been a while since we've had, this guy sucks moment with Bryson. So it was good to have that.
It was so funny watching. I've been watching this video for the last 2
Oh.
days, and there's multiple angles of
Yep.
it. There were a lot of cameras rolling at the time. Bryson, he headbutts a rope, and then he falls to the ground, and then proceeds to immediately blame everyone around him for the rope existing.
Yes.
He's like, "Fuck, guys! What the fuck? What the fuck was that?"
Shit. He just
And
yelled it.
I
Yeah.
mean, not to victim shame here, because it did look like it was a very violent act, but one way to avoid this would be to hit your ball inside the ropes.
Yeah.
And to not have to cross over the ropes to
Perfectly
hit your
normal.
second
yeah.
shot.
Yeah. But it was just, you got to watch it. It was so great. And then my other hot seat is Tom Brady's social team, because Russell Wilson has just completely ripped off his post-game videos, like identical. And it's the next step in Russell Wilson just being like, oh, this popular player does this, I'm going to do it too. And it's so Russ. It's so Russ. And for doing it for a 16-9 win against the Texans was even better.
Yeah.
It was just like run plays because he had no good passes.
Everything was exactly identical.
Identical.
Going from the intro, the different cuts, the type of filters, the music, and then at the end when they put the score up and then the official team logo.
Yeah.
If you put it side to side, I think it matches up perfectly.
And Tom Brady has been doing it for like 5 years, and Russell Wilson was like, "Yep, I'm in." He had a banger for Week 1 if they had won that game. So
Oh, yeah.
he was probably pissed that he had to do the Texans. Then my cool throne is the Twins, the Minnesota Twins. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Twins finally have their URL. So Derland and Darvin Miller, twins, have been squatting on the twins.com URL for since 1995. Very funny guys. They have a picture together where it's like they're kind of like embracing a little bit, and they've been interviewed and they're like, yeah, everyone always knew us as the Twins, so we got twins.com. And they're like, when you think of Twins, you think of us. So I'm happy for Minnesota. They finally have twins.com.
Yeah, so I just typed it.
Did they get a bag?
It redirects them. I'm sure.
It was not disclosed, but I think they said they had been offered $750,000 before. So look at these guys. They're twins.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah. I think the exact quote, they're the cockiest twins ever, and they made a lot of money from this. Yeah, my brother Darvin. So I'm Derland, my brother Darvin, and we are the twins.
His name's Derland?
Derland and Darvin. And he said in this article a couple years ago, everybody has known us as the Twins for as long as we've been around, and it's an easy way to identify or find us, the Twins.
The Twins.
They said they also have a friend who, at the same time in like 1995, their friend Jeff got the URL jeff.com.
That's
So
pretty
shout
sweet.
out to jeff.com.
Jeff.com was a hot one.
Yeah, jeff.com.
What's the new real estate land grab on the internet right now?
Eat.eths.
.eths. I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of those. Yeah, a lot of like usernames.
Yeah.
Is twins.eth? Is that taken? Derland probably squatted on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Derland. So shout out to the Twins for getting the Twins. Billy.
My hot seat is Beyond Meat. The COO
Yes.
of Beyond Meat, after the Arkansas-Missouri game, bit a guy's nose in a parking lot. And that's just a classic example of a guy craving real animal protein.
Yeah. Although I'm going to say right now, because I looked at this article, he definitely eats meat.
Yeah.
Because Tyson Foods bought Beyond Meat. So he used to work for Tyson's Food. He was the president of Global McDonald's. So this guy's a meat eater. So that's the problem, is you don't have a vegan running Beyond Meat.
Or he could just be eating too much Beyond Meat recently.
True.
And he was craving some more meat.
I think the whole thing for Beyond Meat though is it's kind of like a gateway drug into not eating meat anymore.
Yeah.
It's like you can try this, so you can still eat meat and Beyond Meat at the same time.
He also, the article that I read about it was he was, one of his chairs when he was at McDonald's was Executive Safety Council. So that's good. The guy who got so mad at a parking garage that he bit another man's nose off.
I'm just gonna say at an Arkansas football game, you should be allowed to bite another man's face off.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that plays for Arkansas specifically.
It's also a great move to be like, I don't want to hurt you, but I want to leave a message that I am tougher than you.
Yeah.
And don't bump my car. Mm-hmm. I think also the car that bumped it was the most lopsided fight ever, because he jumped out and was like, I'm going to kill you. and then bit his nose off. And I want to say it was, so he was driving a Bronco, and the car that bumped him was a Subaru. So that, like, he was minus 10,000 to win that fight.
Yeah, was the other guy a fan of Missouri State?
I don't know, but he went from 0 to 100 like very quickly.
Pretty
'cause
bad.
He bumped him, then he smashed the Ramsey, the guy, Beyond Meat guy, smashed his window, took him out of the car, started punching him, and bit his nose.
So I
off of a bump in a parking garage.
I'm okay with an Arkansas fan biting an opposing fan, but not if it's Missouri State.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Missouri
I
State.
agree.
It's got to be an SEC opponent.
I agree. And your cool throne?
My cool throne is all of us. Biden said the pandemic's over.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's
we
over.
did it, guys.
We did it,
We
Joe.
did.
We
Yeah.
fucking
We
did
did
it. Love it.
Very cool.
Nice. Good job.
So what does that mean?
Thank you, Joe.
It's over.
All right.
All right.
He said.
It was over. I mean,
good.
it's
That
been over
sucked.
for us for, what, a month into the pandemic? It was over for us?
That was a real bummer of the last couple of years. I'm glad
Yeah,
it's over now.
it's over.
Yeah. He did it. He solved
Officially.
it. Yeah, officially. Jake.
My hot seat, Bedlam.
Yeah,
I know.
fuck that.
I know.
Once Oklahoma
R.I.P.
leaves for the SEC, the series is over.
It's disgusting.
They'll come back.
Like,
yeah,
they
Maybe
should.
like 5 years.
What's to stop them from just playing Bedlam?
Because they don't, like, if you're Oklahoma, you're going to play an SEC schedule and you also have to play Oklahoma State. They're going to want to schedule nobodies in September. I think it will come back, though. It will come back.
Like 2030.
yeah, it will,
5 years
they'll be like,
once
this
they're
was
in.
stupid. Let's play
Yeah.
again.
They're gonna make us want it, and sometimes colleges just make you beg for stuff.
Yeah.
and then they're like, okay, we'll do the cool thing everyone wants.
It is sad, but we do get Texas A&M back, which was a great rivalry before it went away.
Yeah, absolutely. And my cool throne's retirements. Apparently today is a big day to retire if you're a big name in the NHL. We had Chara, PK Subban, and Keith Yandel all
Wow.
retire today. And I'm not a huge hockey guy, but I know those guys.
I think Keith Yandel did it on Spit and
Yes,
Chicklets.
he did,
Exclusive.
yeah.
Shout out the boys.
So,
Yeah.
Sonk.
yeah, tough day for hockey fans, but
That is
congrats to those guys on retirement.
Yeah, Chara,
Great
Caps
se-
legend.
Great careers.
Never
Yeah.
forget.
Okay. Good hot seat, cool thrones, everyone. Let's get to our good friend Max Homa.
Before we get to Max Homa, he is brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. Pardon My Cheesesteak is a delivery and pickup only restaurant brand, bringing you craveable cheesesteaks and loaded fries. I had Pardon My Cheesesteak on Sunday. I eat it every Sunday when I'm watching football. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Great cheese fries, great steak and cheese fries, great buffalo chicken cheesesteaks, great cheesesteaks, great Chipotle cheesesteaks. Pardon My Cheesesteak is now available in hundreds of select locations nationwide, with new locations added every single week. Their menu features 6-inch, 12-inch classic cheesesteaks. It's got that Chipotle cheesesteak. That's the best one, I think. Plus, they've got the dessert brownie bites with caramel dip. Get lunch, dinner, or late night delivery, and they're open 7 days a week. Go to pardonmycheesesteak.com to learn more. Order now on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, or Grubhub. And now, here's Max Homa.
Okay, we now welcome on our very good friend, recurring guest, and back-to-back Fortnite champion. It is Max Homa, fresh off his victory. It's literally like 12 hours after he won. I guess let's start there because we're going to talk President's Cup as well, which you're playing in this week. That was all I really have to say is holy shit. I can't believe how that all transpired. For people who didn't watch, Max hold out with what were you, like 20 feet away?
Yeah, 20, 30 feet.
And then Danny Willett missed 2 5-foot putts for you, 3 putts for you to win. And I have to ask, because we were watching it live. I noticed after you won, you didn't really celebrate because it was like you didn't really win. Danny Willett just lost. Did you have that in the back of your head where you're like, I have to kind of act a little sad here?
Great question, Big Cat.
Good question.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to. I didn't want to like celebrate. Obviously, I was trying to do like the classy thing. It's hard to celebrate when when something crazy like that happens. But I mean, I still feel and believe like I won. I won the golf tournament. I have heard that Mercury's in retrograde, and that's why some crazy stuff's been going on. So I just kind of have to tip my cap to Mercury, I think.
Shout out to planets.
You
yeah.
did, and you did win. That hole out was fucking awesome. That was insane.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank you.
What was the conversation like with your caddy before you hit that shot? Did you know, like, okay, I have to I have to go for this. I have to actually try to make this shot if I want any chance of winning.
Yeah, I felt dead. I mean, I assumed Danny was going to make that putt, but before I hit it, Joe just said, make him make it. So at least make him earn it a little bit. If I, missed that, I guess, he could just kind of tap it up and have 2 putts to win. So it was just one of those Hail Mary, crazy. I don't think I've ever had anything like that happen, especially on the last hole. Just something like so unbelievable. But yeah, Joe just said just make him make the putt and give it a chance, and yeah, just smoked the pin and just went straight down.
It was insane. After so you shake hands with Danny Willett. Did you see him like in the locker room after or anything? You're like, man, those greens tough today. Like kind of like like putting your head down. Like, damn, that was. Whew.
Sorry.
So yeah, like sorry, dude.
Did you apologize?
That's brutal.
I just realized you guys would be the worst people to lose to. You would say everything bad.
Yes.
Actually, that's what
I did not say that.
Jake would honestly do that. Jake would be like, those greens are really challenging out there. A lot of people miss some bad putts. Like being very polite, but then he would take it the wrong way.
He would be like, hey, you want to get in the picture with the trophy? Because, like, you kind of won this too. Like, I'm not going to give you any money, but, like, you were that close.
Jake would be so accidentally, like, rude.
Yeah.
People punch him, but he's just the nicest guy ever.
Yes.
Speaking of that, I do have something to say. I'm glad I got to come back on here. Thank you guys for having me. Stop calling that Max. It's Batgirl. I've already talked to you about this, Big Cat. It throws me off. I listen to your podcast 3 times a week, every week. And when Max comes up, I always think, what have I done? And I like the nickname. The nickname works.
Yeah. It is confusing because even when we were like scheduling you this past week, I kept on saying Max, and then he would perk up, and you're right.
Yeah.
I should just be like, shut up, Batgirl. And not talking about you.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people don't know this.
We agreed on that.
But Max Homa actually is a part of my take. He edits this podcast. So anytime that we have a change that we make to the show,
all of the good ones,
anytime we say something drastically offensive, we accidentally text Max Homa and ask him to take it out when we mean to text back.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I see where you're going. Yeah, we have a secret text chain of me, PFT, and memes of all of the things PFT does not want heard.
It's great, and I'm going to give you a compliment, Max. You ready for this? You have become the darling of media. It feels like you're doing a million interviews, but you have shouted us out, and I appreciate that because you could totally be like, fuck these podcasters. I don't know them anymore. I'm doing Scott Van Pelt's show now. Actually, no, you're not that big time. You did like the noon Sports Center. But either way, I've
sat in his chair but never been on his show.
Yeah, and you give us you're like, hey, these guys support me, so we appreciate that. And I mean, how much money are we getting from this Fortnite? What'd you get? What are you cashing on the Fortnite?
I think I got like $50. I'll give you guys like $25.
That works for me.
50%. I like that.
Billy,
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Do you get a back-to-back bonus on that? They should. You're like Mr.
That's
Fortnite.
Actually, I need to lobby for that one. Yeah, I should. I should get a free PS5. I know, Big Cat, you give those out every once in a while.
Yes.
So maybe I'll have another plug. And yeah, I feel like I should get a bonus. That's one of those Mike Greenberg dumb rules, I think, that should go into effect.
Yeah, we weren't worried about you, by the way, in this tournament because it was the perfect Max Homa tournament. You couldn't even watch it on TV. And it was during football. So we kept on being like, no, Max has got this because no one's paying attention. That's when he shines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the round got.
I feel I'm like sliding in the kind of behind in the shadows. I'm in the shadows. I'm creeping around. No one has any idea golf's being played, and that's when I seem to play my best.
So how does that work on that final day? Didn't they move the start time up? I feel like that would really screw me up. You know how if they delay flights at the airport, they can always actually undelay them and make you miss your flight because you thought your flight was they moved it up on you like last minute. How does that work like with your preparation? Were you rushed?
No, they did inform us the day prior. That airline thing seems like it should be illegal because I had that before, and then an hour and a half before the original flight time, they're like, hey, it's actually on time.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm at my house. But yeah, no, it was just a little less sleep, so the turnaround was faster. But sometimes that's better. Sitting around all morning and thinking about the bad things that could happen is tough. So it was nice actually to just wake up and go straight to the course the next day.
Yeah. Serious question about Danny Willett, because I think he hit maybe the best golf shot that nobody will ever remember when he was behind that tree. What was it on, like 17 or 16? When he hit that, did you think it was over?
No, it was sick though. That shot, the ball curved like 50 yards in the air. But yeah, he went up one. And I mean, it was a bit of a shocker, but obviously he's a great player. He's a true major golf tournament champion, won the Masters, where everyone's watching. And that was just a sick golf shot. I will never forget watching that ball curve. I was like, holy hell. I thought maybe there's a chance he was going to hit the tree and it was going to shoot out of bounds. Yeah. And then next thing I know, he had 12 feet for birdie and he made it right in the middle. So that was a tough blow.
So when something like that happens, you're watching it and you realize what an incredible shot it is, but you're also competing against this guy for first place in a pretty significant amount of money. How much time do you spend? Like, do you go over to him and be like, hey, that was an amazing shot? Or you just kind of stay in your lane and focus on what you have to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said good shot, but that should be the next thing we start doing. I should have walked over and like high-fived him and walked back, really rattled him.
Yeah, like real hard, like hurt his hand.
But yeah, that's always it's the toughest thing, man, is being like kind of in your lane, but also I guess somewhat appreciative of what the other like great golf is going on, all the other great golf. Like in the beginning of the day, I couldn't make very many putts, and both Danny and Justin, who was in our group as well, were making everything. And on about the 10th hole, I think Justin made back-to-back like 40-foot putts, and I feel like I was just shaking my head. And I've always wanted to have somebody else play their best and me play my best and my best be better. Like that's been my like dream scenario, but in the back of your mind, I mean, it would be nice if people messed up here and there. And when Danny hit that shot from the tree, it was that was something else.
Yeah. Are you flying too high right now? Do you need us to humble you? How are you feeling? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Hit me. Yeah. Bring me back.
Because obviously the hole out shot, your fourth shot was incredible. Your third shot sucked, dude. You went from the sand to the rough. Like that was bad.
Yeah, I've been watching too many of Hank's golf videos on his Instagram.
All right, so
not Jake's though. Jake's are great.
The President's Cup. We obviously we're dimple heads. We love the game of golf.
Parverts.
We know exactly what the President's Cup is all about, but explain it to people who might not know what even this tournament is.
So it is 12 of the best Americans versus 12 of pretty much everyone but Europe. Europe is the Ryder Cup, so it's called the international team. And it is 4 days. It's a match play. It's teams for the first 3 days, and then an individual straight up heads up match on Sunday. And it's there's 30 total points up for grabs. So it's whoever has the most points wins. And you get 1 for a win, half for a tie, 0 obviously for a loss. And it is opportunity to represent your country. And it's I've never done it before, but it's been awesome to watch on TV, and something I've wanted to do forever.
So essentially it's just America versus VJ Singh.
Nice. You are a dimplehead.
I am a dimplehead. All right, so is this pre-Ryder Cup? Are you now going to be on Ryder Cup next year?
You got to qualify for all that the same, but I would very much like to play well this week and at least kind of sneak my foot in that door as well.
Okay. All right. So you heard it here first. Max Homa open to accepting an invitation to the Ryder Cup if offered.
Yeah.
You're not closing that door.
Exactly. That door is definitely, I'm going to leave it open until somebody shuts it on me. But I'm definitely open for an invitation. I'm down.
That's good to hear.
Who call, like, if you get invited to the Ryder Cup, does someone actually call you and be like, hey, you're invited?
Yeah. They say, they send you a letter. You're invited, and you just check yes or no, just like old school prom dates.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would be a real shame if someone like pranked you and called you.
That'd be mean. Like the Michael Scott thing, where he finds you then hires you, or the other way around.
Yeah, if someone pranked you and called you right around the Ryder Cup and was like, "Hey Max, you're on the team," that would be a shame. I wouldn't want that to happen.
I'll take any invitation. So I'll ride that high for the 30 seconds before I realize it's a break. So
Okay.
I welcome that as well.
What do you get if you win the President's Cup?
Pride. This is what I was going to say. I'm glad I remember this. I'm going to do Billy. I apologize for stolen valor.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm representing my country, and I understand that you have done that in a much higher way.
Different type of uniform.
Just want you to know, I'm just representing you and all the sacrifices you've made for this country.
Thank you, Billy.
it would be cool if the President's Cup played for like the winning team gets the presidency.
The winning team gets like the swing vote.
Yeah, the winning team just gets to be like they get to then decide out of the 12 like who's the president.
Or
that would
winning team gets Canada.
Yeah, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to tell the President's Cup how to do their job, but that would get people watching if it's like, hey, your next president comes from the President's Cup.
God, that would be the worst Twitter day of my entire life. Politics Twitter is all time the worst.
That'd be great.
Max, just curious, have you ever what's your policy on rope safety? Have you encountered any dangerous ropes recently on the golf course?
I've noticed you gotta keep your eyes closed when you walk near those things.
Yeah.
They come out of nowhere, man. Those electric ones are especially bad. People don't understand how difficult this sport is on your body. I know you guys grinded football all day yesterday, but golf's nothing soft about it. You gotta be ready. That was a blindside blitz by the rope, and nobody called it out. Running back ran away, and it absolutely, that was a dangerous situation.
It was targeting. I will stand up for Bryson a little bit that sometimes when there's a rope that you have to traverse and you find yourself in no man's land on, am I stepping over this rope or going under this rope, especially as other people are doing it, it gets tricky out there. You have to be on your toes.
Well, he's a brick shithouse, so maybe he just thought he could just run right through it, which is, I respect that move.
He also probably had his eyes down looking for fire ants because he's, had issues with that. So it was like, oh, you got to look for the ropes too. Max, let's make a headline for the show because you do listen to the show. How much has the Live Tour offered you?
$1 billion.
Really?
Wow.
Holy
Allegedly.
shit. Allegedly. And did you?
Yeah.
Are you entertaining the offer?
I said I'm $2 billion or nothing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we have a price. So
$2
Max
billion.
Homa, that's the headline. Max Homa, $2 billion will join the Live Tour.
Sure.
I mean, can we work our way in that? If they offer you $2 billion, could you hire us to work for you?
Oh yeah. At
Okay.
that point, it's a who cares at that point.
Yeah.
We could do whatever we want.
We would be your exclusive media team.
Yeah.
And we would only do Max Homa coverage, and it would be a great match, I think. If I know the Saudi royal family are AWLs, so if you've been waiting to contact Max, please reach out to us directly, and we'll handle the contract negotiation. But I think we can make that work. $2 billion to you, and let's say $250 million to us.
That sounds like a fair price. But Big Cat, I think you said you would never watch me play golf ever again if I joined. So
Yeah.
it seems like you have a price for that.
Well, I could follow you and just keep my eyes closed the whole time.
Okay, yeah, that actually works.
Yeah, I would literally be like behind your caddy, and I just would never. I'd wear a blindfold. You don't think people would tune in to watching me like run into ropes and
tune in just
trees?
for that.
Yeah, right. It would be kind of fun to watch. Max, another important question we got to ask you. So you are about to have a child. Your wife is with child. When's the due date again?
November 2nd.
Have you discussed with her that you need to play in the tournament right after because guys always play well after they have kids? Have you had that discussion yet?
Yeah, she said just get on out there. She doesn't need any help. She would love to do this on her own.
Okay, but like you have a window. You have a window of like 2 weeks. You got to play and you got to win because otherwise I think your entire child's life is illegitimate if you don't win right after.
Man, that's a lot of pressure.
No pressure.
There's really no point
I
in
forgot to
having.
say no pressure. Yeah.
There's no point in having a child if you don't use it to help you.
0-11 in bets. Oh, sorry, PFT.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No,
Say it.
yeah.
You were gonna make fun of me. That's okay. 0-11. Yep.
When you go 0-11 in bets, does that put a damper on your kids' lives?
Oh yeah, big time. They're surrounded by a loser. You can't. That's that's loser energy in my house, and they pick up. Kids are like dogs. When dogs smell fear, they like go crazy. Kids smell losers, and they're like, "Oh, this is bad. This guy."
Do dogs smell fear?
Yeah,
pretty
dogs.
sure, yeah.
Absolutely. They smell earthquakes. They smell fear.
They smell periods.
They're very intense animals.
Yeah, they know everything.
Talking about sharks.
Yeah, sharks too.
Yeah, they smell blood.
Yeah,
and bears.
But my kids know when I lose because I'm a loser, and so yeah, your child will know if you are losing right after he is born, and it will be bad for his future.
Yeah, well, this is gonna be my line when I'm a dad. It's a do as I say, not as I do type thing. So I'm gonna tell him to be a winner, even if I'm a loser.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I think what Big Cat's getting at is that if you have a child, you might as well use it to help you win a golf tournament.
Right.
Because it's kind of a wasted birth if your kid is just like, okay, yeah, you're dad now, big deal. But if you're not using that to actually win some like $600,000 purse, then the kid's life, it's like, okay, it's just another baby.
My wife has said the exact same thing. It is a waste of a birth if I do not win.
Yes, and you also, I mean, listen, I'm not. I want to forecast the future here. You're playing great, but I like having a child will give you a better chance of winning a major because we need the shot of like you and your wife and your child like standing at the 18th green and everyone's like, oh my God, look, this is so cute. Like that's just, you have a leg up now. So you better use it.
I've heard that is a big part of momentum. And also I've heard a lot of guys say you get dad strength for a little bit. So maybe at Augusta, I'll just be bombing it out of nowhere. So I am looking forward to the perspective I will gain and the dad strength. I think that those are the things I've been missing in the majors.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Because you could basically say if you hit a bad shot, you're like, what do I care? I'm a dad. And then you'll hit a good shot because you don't care.
Exactly. And people can't talk trash to me because I'll be a father then. And you can't talk trash to fathers.
That's a fact.
Absolutely.
LeBron James taught me that. It's gotten so deep with the whenever I'm like father too that I don't think people even realize that I'm making fun of LeBron, who literally had that like as a take, like don't talk to me like that. I'm a father of 3. It's like most people in the world are dads. Yeah. The majority of people in the world are dads, so that means we just can't talk shit about anyone.
Yeah. It's a good defense.
Yeah.
Max, talk to me about what it's like if you're playing on a team. Like how is golf a team sport if you're competing with like a bunch of other guys that you normally compete against every week, and now it's like, okay, now you have to do like a national pride thing. Is there any team bonding experience you guys go through, or how do you start to like each other?
I assume we all sing the Star Spangled Banner every morning, so I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we eat immense amounts of bacon because that seems like a big thing Americans love. We just do a lot of things Americans love. Overeating. And yeah, I'm a rookie. I'm just going to follow everyone's lead, but those are my assumptions, at least at the beginning of this week.
Yeah. Who's your favorite president?
Oh, good question.
Besides Trump, because I know you were about to say him, but everyone knows that. Besides him.
Good question. I like that dude that writes his books that always talks shit to me. That guy's a pretty cool dude. My favorite president, I'm gonna have to go with Ronald Reagan because I've been to his no, George Bush, met him, not a humble brag, but met him. He's awesome.
Okay. Who's your favorite teammate on this team? I'm looking at the team right now. There's some good dudes on this team.
Yeah, this is team unity, they're all my favorite.
Okay, but who's your favorite?
Probably I've known JT the longest, probably JT.
Okay. Who was making fun of my own 11. So you're not a big Patrick Cantley guy. Okay. So watch out for that. If he goes up with Patrick, they're probably not going to have great team chemistry.
I always like it when they have the captains of the team, like in the Ryder Cup, and the captains are like riding around on the golf carts with their walkie-talkies communicating to me. What are they doing? How much like in-game coaching or captaining can you do in those types of tournaments?
I'm glad you asked that. I actually am very much looking forward to figuring out what that is that they do. So I'm excited to see that up close.
Yeah, I mean it is very funny because golf is just not a team sport, but it is funny when we get these tournaments. Quail Hollow, one of my favorite courses.
Exactly, one of mine too. I'm glad we share our love for Quail Hollow.
Yeah, I actually, if I had to do like Mount Rushmore courses, I think Quail Hollow's on there.
Is that set up to be like? Is that a homosexual course, or is it a homophobic course?
I actually have one here, so I would say homosexual, 2 thumbs up.
We knew that. We knew
Yep,
you had
yep.
one there.
Your home track.
Yeah. What was that tournament?
track.
What tournament did you win?
The Wells Fargo in 2019.
Oh, the 5th major.
Yes, exactly. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm glad you're getting. You are a dipple head, like you said. You're really getting that.
I remember that tournament.
Yeah, me too. You won.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Good
it
memory.
was incredible. What's one tournament? If you could pick one tournament to win, what's the one that you have your eyes set on? If it can only be like the Masters, the Open.
First off, sorry if you have this, but I have like 2 minutes.
Yep.
But then, so yeah, if I had to win one tournament, I would be the President's Cup.
Wow.
Good answer. Great answer.
That is a great answer.
The 6th major.
Yeah.
The 6th major.
Yeah. All right.
Would this
Max.
count as a major win if we win this, even though I have 11 teammates?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
sure. I mean, it counts
Hell
as
yeah. All right.
it counts as a win for us, for the USA.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Especially for Billy.
Yes, especially for Billy. All right, so last question because Max has to go. He just won the Fortnite. He's the man about town. Roback question, RHOBACK. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Roback.com. Promo code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, hoodies, polos, everything. Max, I actually don't even have a last question other than like go get them. Do you have anything on your mind you want to get off? Like anything that you wanted to tell the people about the support, and are we being positive, negative? How are we feeling going this week?
I think, there's no cut this week.
Nice.
I think as usual, Thursday, Friday, positive. You can do whatever you want Saturday, Sunday, except I did win a golf tournament last week without Billy posting an absolutely vulgar, disgusting animal video. So I feel like I've gotten over that hump. So if you could just keep those to yourselves, that'd be great. But anything else goes.
What about, okay, I understand that, but what if Billy posts like a really metal bald eagle video of a bald eagle for the USA?
Okay, actually, that would be great. If you guys could make Billy do that, that would be awesome.
Okay. All right, Billy, that's your assignment.
But not it eating something with a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Minimal blood.
Minimal blood.
Minimal blood.
And Max has got this. All right, so Max, good luck at the President's Cup.
Thank you.
I mean, literally our country's on the line, so no pressure again. Also, really, do think about this whole having a kid and then playing a tournament right after because we'd like to win some money off you. So make sure that you get that squared away with the wife before the child does arrive because we need you. Like, child born on a Tuesday, you're playing on Thursday. We need that.
I will pass along that message.
Yeah.
Let you know how that goes.
Listen, I placed bets in the delivery room of my first child being born. So you have no excuse. You got to keep working.
No excuses.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my son would want that kind of grit out of his dad. So I'll give it my best shot.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Max.
All right, thank you, Max. We appreciate it. And
Thank you for winning us money yesterday also.
Yes,
I'll send you that
very kind of
$25, $12.50 each as soon as possible.
Yeah, and maybe do call back the live tour because $2 billion would be
Sounds nice.
We'll do it. We'll each take $50 million and just follow you around everywhere, and that will be our life, and we'll all be happy, and we'll be like best friends, and it'll be so funny, and it'll be ha ha ha. That's cool.
All right, I'm all in.
Okay, perfect. All right,
Thank you, Max.
Max Homa, champion,
You guys are the best.
back to back Fortnite.
Max Home is brought to you by Skrill. Coming soon to the Barstool Sportsbook, Skrill is a digital wallet perfect for gamblers. Skrill is for money movers and makers, allowing you to instantly deposit and withdraw your money. Sophisticated gamblers use Skrill to manage their bankroll, whether they're playing games like poker or betting on their favorite sports. It's one of the safest and most secure digital wallets, and once it's part of the Barstool Sportsbook, you're going to be able to deposit and withdraw instantly, without limits. Skrill also takes you and lets you transfer money to another Skrill member and take advantage of some of the best money transfer rates around. Skrill is the best wallet to use for gamblers. It's a digital wallet for gamblers, built by gamblers for gamblers. Make sure to sign up at Skrill.com/Barstool to create your free account. Complete the account verification by clicking Follow the Game after registering so you can start using their digital wallet today. That's Skrill.com/Barstool. And now, here's Josh Allen.
Okay, time for one question with the quarterback. It's our new segment on Wednesdays. We have Josh Allen. One question with the quarterback. Josh, How sweet was that game last night?
It's pretty sweet. Boys got after it, made some plays. Bills Mafia was incredible per usual. It was a good time.
Awesome.
All right, Josh, my one question. Are you him?
I think there's too many hymns right now.
Yeah. It's like church.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them going around. I think if everybody's great, nobody's great. So there's got to be a new word,
Well, we're out of questions.
Yeah, that's
so
it. I don't know. I don't know what.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't know what him was. I was
Yeah.
hoping that you would explain that to me in my answer. But I like too many hymns.
Yeah. Too many
Too many
hymns.
hymns. That's kind of the consensus around the league right now. There's a lot of guys that are him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually him is the one guy. That's him.
Yeah, that is him.
But
You're
him.
us.
Yeah.
Though
Yeah.
the Bills are us.
the Bills are us. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Um,
My one question for you guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
okay,
good. All right.
yeah.
Yeah. One question. You only get one though.
One for each.
No, one for the show.
What was your guys' betting record in the NFL this weekend?
Oh,
Good question.
I was 6-5 after an 0-11 start. So, but we'll focus on the 6-5. 0-11 is pretty tough.
I was.
That's hard to do.
That's hard to do. It's actually impressive. I'd rather be 0-11
Yeah.
than 6-5 because 0-11 at least is a story.
I was 2-9 going into last night, and I bet on the Titans. So fuck
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess so. That's why I like Caleb better, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I
mean.
mean, we like Caleb more than us too. So, samesies. Okay.
Samesies.
That was one question with Josh Allen. Thank you, Josh. We appreciate it. We had Jared last week. I can't guarantee that you won't be called again when we run out of people to call.
That's fine. I'm always here. You know that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Have a good
All
one.
right. Bye, best friends. See ya.
See you.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Best friends. One question with Josh Allen is brought to you by Manscaped. We're savoring every bit of smooth sack summer with Manscaped. If you haven't been scaping for the summer sun, it's not too late to sweep your sack of those pesky pubes. As summer comes to an end and we enter fall, keep your boys clean and fresh, just in time for fresh ball fall. Start the new season the right way. Manscaped, and get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code PMT at manscaped.com. That's crazy. Free worldwide shipping. We want to ship this all over planet Earth. The Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 includes the Lawnmower 4.0 all-new skin-safe electric trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver anti-chafing ball deodorant, and the Crop Reviver ball spray toner. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code PMT at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code PMT at manscaped.com.
Okay, let's wrap up the show. We got FAQs. Henry,
Yeah.
let's do it.
I'm just reading this for the first time. Is Big Cat willing to do these are FAQs. Is Big Cat willing to do a 3 to 4 year long pinky bet with the entirety of Minnesota sports teams?
Oh, my
Minus
God.
the links who are actually good. What city/state would he feel the safest with over these next few years?
It would be Minnesota, but I think the Timberwolves could be, they could get a little uppity. No? I wouldn't do it.
Championship,
I
I
wouldn't
don't
do
know.
it for, I'm not going to, I'm very secure in the fact that I have the pinky bet. It's going to be a yearly thing. I will probably die without a tip of my pinky, but I also think I can make it probably about 20 years picking the correct team that sucks out of the gate. Like, the Raiders are not winning the Super Bowl. They're not.
I would say, now are we including college basketball in this or only professional sports?
Well, Minnesota college basketball's not winning.
Idaho would be pretty safe.
As a state,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they don't have any professional teams.
yeah, you got to go
Exactly.
professional teams.
Good point, Billy.
Yeah, I think Minnesota would be the pick. I think they'd have to be the pick.
Michigan?
I don't know. My guy Scott Harris just got named team president for the Tigers. He's gonna put that team back on the right track. And the Lions, Jared Goff. Arizona might be up there too.
Arizona's up there. Sneakily, Texas is up there.
Yeah, I mean Illinois is definitely on there.
Texas is actually in bad shape right now.
Yeah, Yeah.
as a state.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just too many teams that would be playing. That would be rolling the dice.
That'd be
on 2
Russian
teams.
roulette with like
Yeah.
4 bullets in the chamber.
Yeah.
But still, as a program, Texas, the state, is in bad sports shape.
Yeah. Actually, the answer might be Illinois. There's no team close right now.
Seattle.
The state of Washington. No, the Mariners, dude. Mariners were my preseason World Series champion.
They'll make the playoffs. You think they can win it all?
Psh, why not? They've been playing their asses off. That's a good question, though. I'll think about it more.
Will the whole PMT crew move to when Big Cat goes to Chicago? Also hope Stella's doing well.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And we're going to have a sick office. Anything else?
I'm gonna move.
Yeah. Hank's going to move.
I might move before Big Cat moves.
Yeah. Squatter's right.
No, I might be missing. You know what I should do? I've been trying to think like, okay, Chicago. I'm not a Chicago guy. I've never been a Chicago guy. What can I do to make myself a Chicago guy? I might grow a mustache
Gain
out.
like 100 pounds.
I'll probably do that like accidentally.
Yeah.
But I might just grow a mustache out.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one thing you have to have when you move into the city limits.
We've been working on looking for offices. Think Fantasy Factory, like basketball courts. PFT is going to have a fucking music studio that he can record music anytime he wants. Golf simulator. Just some real fucking cool shit. What are you going to say, Billy?
Is there going to be a gym?
Yes, there will be a gym.
Free weights?
Yes.
Squat racks?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Like NFL training facility?
Yes.
Type, but
yes.
smaller?
Yes.
Think like high school.
It's gonna be bro
Like
sweet.
shitty high school
It's going to be
gym.
bro sweet. Yes.
Are there any interviews you have done aside from Dan Bilzerian that you haven't aired yet? Why not?
Uh-oh.
I think we can tell one of them now.
There was one.
There's been 2 that I can think of.
Oh, you
I can think of like
college
4.
basketball.
No, did we air him?
No.
No, we didn't. Yeah, that one was tough.
College basketball, Pudge Rodriguez.
That one he just didn't speak English, and we thought he did. And then Big Poppy. So Big Poppy came in, and it was in person, and
I like Big Poppy.
I do too. I think there was some shit going on that day. I think he might have been going through a divorce during that time. He literally sat down. We asked him a question. He took out his phone and he started scrolling on his phone while we were asking him questions. So me and PFT just looked at each other and we're like, okay. And I think maybe 7 minutes in, I was like, all right, last question.
I think it was the next question.
Yeah, I was just like,
all right,
last question. Thanks so much, Big Poppy. See you later. He's like, cool.
I remember after he was going through his phone and like texting and doing all this, like very clearly not paying attention. I asked him, so you and Jared do a great podcast. You have people on there all the time doing interviews. Have you ever had somebody on that just like is completely checked out and not listening to what you guys are asking them? And he was like, no, they've all been cool, as he's like going through his phone, completely checked out. I kind of wanted to put that clip out there, but he was doing a podcast with us at the time.
Yeah.
And I still like him.
I do too.
I think he was having a bad day.
I think he was having a bad day, and we recognized almost immediately that this was the dumbest thing to do to try to stretch out an interview. And we almost had, like, me, PFT, and Hank all looked at each other. We're like, we're not airing this, so let's just end this right now. Hey, was there any others?
Pudge Rodriguez. There's one other one I can think of that I don't.
You don't want to say?
Nah.
Why?
Whomst.
I can't think of it. Bleep it. Say it and bleep it. Oh yeah. That was just us being idiots.
Well,
We should have them on.
we should actually have them back.
Yeah,
on,
we
for
just.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. That will be funny bleep. People are not going to know what that is.
What happened?
We forgot, and then it just became like a time thing. So that was stupid of us.
And they also, I think by the time that we were going to put it out, they had done other interviews, and they had said a lot of the same stuff that they said on our show.
Yeah.
And so we should have them back.
That was stupid of us.
I
That
liked
was
it.
all on us.
Yeah.
That was a total opposite of a Big Poppy thing.
Appreciate the grind all of y'all do. What's a typical Sunday night look like during NFL season for everyone? When do you think of all the fastest 2 minutes? I mean,
Yeah. This is actually good because I had someone tweet me the other day. They're like, I think it was a new AWO. They were like, do you record after all the games? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's a lot.
We watched the first games, beginning to end.
we used to do it a little differently.
We
What-
did.
Did we?
We did. Yeah.
What we used to do?
Way back in the day, we used to try and record some like after 4 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
After 7
I
o'clock.
think season 1. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Season 1 of Part of My Take. But we start writing the Boomers typically around halftime of the late games, like the 4:00 games. And then sometimes Nick helps out with those.
Yep, Nick's been a huge help ghostwriting with us. We basically sit there in the gambling cave while the games are on, just shooting ideas back and forth. I type, and then we just like say, all right, this game, and then we just all throw out ideas.
Max was about
Jake
to,
and Billy help. Hank helps.
Max was about to come over and record us while we were doing the Boomers last week, and then me and Big Cat looked at each other and we were like, you know what, we say a lot of bad things when we're just spitballing.
It's a safe space.
It's
a safe space where we have some of the jokes are uncouth.
Yes, there was one in particular last Sunday where I think the entire room just went.
Yeah, and I'll say what is it? We were working on some Kobe helicopter material that we decided not to put in.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know where the line is, but we also have to push past the line to then come back to the appropriate stuff.
Yeah, you guys have to be able to land it well.
Yeah.
One comment as someone who watched it happen, the flow state that they get in is fascinating.
Yeah.
Flow state. I
They-
like that.
they come up with ideas, and you can tell it gets progressively they start
It's
flowing
tweaked,
faster.
It's like it's usually like one person says one thing, then one person tweaks it a little, then another person tweaks it a little more, and then you get the full sentence, and then we put it all together. And it is like the most collaborative thing we do in terms of like everyone just pitching in.
Jake's been very helpful.
Yeah,
very helpful, especially like this year. He's come prepared.
Yeah, and then
I would imagine it no other way.
Yeah, so ideally we finish the Boomers by about like 7:00. Then we will kind of like half watch Sunday Night Football while we're getting everything else ready, and then on a good day we'll start recording around halftime of Sunday Night Football. Sometimes we don't record till after Sunday Night Football, so we're usually done around 1:30. And then Max and Memes and Evan are here till fucking 4 or 5. It's a long day. Like I leave my house at like 11:30 in the morning. I don't get home till 2. But it's also one of those things like we get to watch football for a living, so can't complain.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But
it is
long. It's a lot of fun. And then every morning I'll wake up because you go to bed, you lay down. It's like 2:00 in the morning. You don't really fall asleep until like 3 sometimes because you're coming down off the show, and then you wake up in the morning at like 8 and you see. The most recent text is like from Max or Memes at like 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m. sending clips over. It's like, oh shit, they didn't go to bed at all tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those things that somewhere around the middle of the season, I'm sure people see like there'll be 1 or 2 shows where we'll just be like tired and like agitated. It's because we're tired and agitated, but it is the best job in the world. That it?
Oh, I'm with that.
Okay, great. Will you have any other input on Sundays? They're long days. They're wars.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is the first year I've not been the person editing the podcast, and the difference between going to sleep at 3:00 and the difference between going to sleep at like 7:00 is
profound,
life changing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also
it would fuck up my whole week.
I've gotten to a point where I think I'm just like a 5-hour, 6-hour sleep guy. Because
A-Rod said that to me back in the day. I never understood.
I don't know.
I sleep 6 hours a day, and I remember looking at him being like, "What?"
I'm tired always, but the last like week and a half, I've been on 6 hours of sleep, and I haven't been like, I feel like I need to like crash. So maybe I've just reprogrammed my brain.
I've been feeling better this year too.
Yeah,
this year's, but I think it's also
early. It's very early.
It's super early, but shifting the long macro dosing to recording on Wednesday, as opposed to Monday, that probably has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it is early, and I always have to get up early now. So yeah, but we love it. There's no complaints. Okay, numbers. Hank, have you ever won this? Oh, shit.
We're back to the orange balls, though.
Yeah.
So these are regulation.
Hank was like, fuck, the blue balls didn't work for me.
69.
You got to get a new sponsor.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 91.
What's Philly's area code?
215.
I'll go with 15.
19.
Tebow.
26.
You're going to force my hand. I'll go 21.
Oh, nice. Okay. What was your number, Hank?
19.
19.
And I said 91.
So 99.
Damn.
Not 66.
66.
No, it's 99.
Is it?
Is
no,
it
it's 66.
Wait,
66?
fact check.
66. That sucks for whoever had 99.
That's tough.
You had a moment.
Second time in a week you've done that.
Yeah.
You did it last week.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Steve Harveying it. Whatever. My eyes are. What's the 66? Ever been gone?
Fourth time.
Fourth time. Wow.
Love you guys.
Tennessee cave salamanders may go their whole life without ever seeing sunlight.
Wow.
That's incredible. We do have breaking news.
What?
Just real quick. Arthur Smith says that he's going to bring Will Compton in for a workout next week.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
That's probably not for the podcast.
year 10 loading. No, I said, can we report this, coach? He said, absolutely.
Oh,
so-
okay. So breaking news. Breaking news.
Year 10 loading. Will Compton being brought in for a workout by the dynamic Atlanta Falcons.
That's a I mean,
What? Oh, we're still recording.
Cole Beasley.
hasn't he like basically said he's not? I guess
No,
he's
you're
been training.
loaded.
No, he's been training.
Cole
Yeah.
Beasley may be going to the Bucks as well.
Wow.
I think that actually might be official. Right?
Yeah, that's great. He's probably going to live with him.
Yeah.